In this video, we're just going to compare the physical size and dimensions of the Sony Xperia S against some other smartphones that are available on the market today. So let's start by taking a look at the original Xperia Arc, which the Xperia S has sort of evolved from. So there's about 0.1 inch of a difference in the screen size, but you can see the overall body is fairly similar in size. The Xperia S is slightly longer and is square. It hasn't got this sort of curvature that the Xperia Arc has. When it comes to thickness, there's no doubt that the Arc is indeed considerably thinner. It's got the nicer design with the arcing back to it. See, the Xperia S has quite a few more features. So because of that slight difference in curvature, the height of the Xperia S is that little bit bigger. In terms of actual end-to-end thickness, there really isn't that much in it. There's a bit more of a bulge on the Xperia S, so that it is fractionally thicker when it comes to this piece here, but there's not an awful lot in it, and I think you could easily switch between the two, bearing in mind the size, although this feels a little bit squarer. Let's bring in the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. So this has got a much bigger display, but the actual profile of the machine isn't that much bigger. All in all, the Xperia S is squarer in places, and kind of what you make up for on the Nexus, it doesn't have all of this bit down here, which adds a little bit in terms of length. In terms of thickness, really it's quite comparable. I know it sort of again bulges on the Nexus down at the bottom here, but there's not a lot in it. From the top, certainly this swoop to the Xperia S that you don't have on the Nexus, but all in all there's not a great deal of actual difference. But you can see how the Xperia S has that sort of squarer profile and just perhaps makes it potentially a little bit more uncomfortable for use in the hand by some. We've then got the BlackBerry Bold 9900. So width-wise, fairly comparable. Massive difference in terms of actual length, thickness, comparable. Weight-wise, Xperia S is a bit heavier. We've got the HTC Sensation. So similar size screens, similar width. Xperia S is longer. Again, the sensation is helped by the sort of the curvature of the device. Thickness is comparable. Weight is also very comparable too. So we've got the iPhone 4. Considerable difference there in physical size, both width and length. Thickness, not an awful lot of difference there. Probably the iPhone wins it just a bit because there's no curvature. Weight wise, very difficult to tell. Probably the Xperia is just that bit heavier as well. And then finally the Samsung Galaxy S2. So you can see they do have quite a similar sort of shape and overall sizing. Corners are a bit more curved on here, but you don't have some of the sort of more swooping styles of the Sensation and the Nexus. So if we put the two together, probably the closest yet in terms of overall size comparison. Width feels exactly the same. Height, very fractionally, the Xperia is taller of the two. Thickness, Galaxy S2 wins that one, and in terms of weight, the Xperia S feels the slightly heavier device. So that's just a quick hardware comparison of some leading smartphones against the Sony Xperia S.